If you're a parent who is dealing with kids who don't want to connect with you or treat you well, read these 6 words. Feel like you're growing apart from your kids sometimes? Or do you get mad at them when they're rude? The way your family works might change for the better if you and your partner learn how to handle this common problem with care and understanding. In this video, we'll look at some good ways to deal with disrespect and disconnection that won't make things worse. You'll learn why staying calm, keeping family secrets, and trying to understand each other are all important for healthy relationships. Reading this whole article will help you understand how these ideas can help you make your family peaceful and safe for your kids' growth. Before we begin, I want to invite you to stay until the very end. I'll be sharing one special tip that could bring a bit more joy or clarity into your day. It's something small but powerful. If you feel a connection here, please click like, subscribe, and turn on the bell to stay in touch with everything we share. And if you're here with me, drop this in the comments. I'm here and grateful. It helps me know we're walking this path together. Astute parents know that all they need to do to deal with disrespectful or distant behavior from their kids is to remember a few simple rules. When your kids start to pull away from you and show signs that they don't care about how you feel, it's best to stay calm and collected. Instead, keep this important piece of advice in mind. Sometimes, all you need to do is stay calm and accept things as they are. Transparent People is a moving book that says, the more independent the children become, the more isolated the parents feel. Smart parents, on the other hand, often say things like, "I'm fine, you go ahead and do something else," while still being understanding and supportive. There is a chance that the emotional gap between parents and children will get bigger as the kids grow up. Some parents may feel confused, sad, or even like they have no idea what to do next. Even though things are changing, don't get into fights and keep your cool. The 6 words of wisdom are to stay calm and accept what is usually all that's needed. When it comes to personal matters, keeping secrets can also be hard. In his book, Into the Wisdom of Life, Schopenhauer thinks about how important it is to keep our private lives private. He says we shouldn't tell people who don't have a direct interest in our problems about our problems. Some people, especially those who aren't directly involved, won't feel sorry for you. Instead, they may spread rumors that will make family problems worse. Allow us to look at something that took place during the Kun dynasty, when Guangxu was king. A farming family from the village of Dengtongo rented land. Her 4 kids were all girls and boys, and her husband was a farmer. In contrast to the married daughters, the sons stayed single for a long time. The farmer's wife would tell her neighbors about her problems because she hadn't been to school. Both of her sons were stubborn and often got into fights with her. They would play cards outside after dark. The farmer's wife told people in the area how upset and angry she was. The reputation of her sons was hurt in nearby villages when word spread about how badly they behaved. When his sons were old enough to get married, the farmer had a hard time finding good brides for them. He thought that getting married would make him more mature and stable. It was hard for the sons to find families who would accept them as suitors because they had a bad name. The sons worked hard and took care of their sick mother, but the farmer's wife's complaints about them made their good deeds less likely to be remembered. There was a lot of talk about the farmer's anger and complaints in public, which made him look bad and hurt his son's chances of getting married. This shows how airing personal grievances in public can have long-lasting and unwanted effects, often making the problems worse than the person is trying to fix. Some kids may act rudely toward their parents in public, but deep down, they often still really want their parents' approval. Parents who constantly point out their kids' flaws or problems in public can do a lot of damage to their reputation and lower their self-esteem. This kind of public criticism can be harmful, and it could make the child do things that hurt themselves. As parents, it's important to be patient, work out family problems in private, and not point out our kids' flaws in public. On the inside, the family should show support and understanding. Parents should be careful and polite around other people. We must always defend our kids' honor in public, regardless of our relationship with them, so no one can judge or interfere. People should feel like they belong. There is harmony, and there is peace in their home. It is very important to keep family secrets safe and keep the family unit together. Also, it's best to avoid arguments that aren't necessary and fight the urge to argue or refute points in an angry way. Sometimes, taking a step back and not getting into a fight right away can make things better. Argument is a game played by people, but it's a strange game where no one has ever won, said Benjamin Franklin. When it comes to family and friends, especially parents, many people who are calm around strangers find it hard to be patient with them. When it comes to their closest friends and family, kids may lose their cool and fight more easily. For instance, old Lou, the neighbor, often complained that his daughter's behavior toward him had become less friendly, which often led to heated arguments. They were fighting because they didn't understand each other. She would tell him about her day and try to get him interested, but he would cut her off to focus on his own interests. His daughter, who hadn't found a partner yet, had low self-esteem and was criticized by her father whenever she said she didn't like her job or wanted to change careers. During these important years, she needed time and patience. When old Louisiana wanted to learn how to edit videos and got annoyed with his daughter's attempts to teach him, he would complain that she wasn't willing to help him, even though he had raised her with an emphasis on education. These disagreements often turned into violent fights, which made their relationship so tense that his daughter eventually emotionally pulled away. When she talked to old Louisiana, she became quiet and distant, and her heart stopped beating at all. There are, however, parents who are too strict in how they raise their kids. Their rules might be very strict, and they might not let their kids make mistakes or choose for themselves. This kind of overbearing control often makes things worse, especially when kids act out in a rebellious way. This kind of rebellious behavior can lead to more hostile interactions, which only make the conflict between parents and children worse. Please leave the first comment below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me and that you think these lessons are helpful. Parents should try to stay calm and objective when their kids are acting disrespectfully or defiantly. Parents need to be willing to admit their flaws and mistakes when they need to. By being accountable, parents set a good example for their kids. But when kids misbehave, it's best not to scold them in a way that makes them more resistant or worsens the conflict. Instead, those parents should be patient and calm and let respect guide their interactions so that they don't get into fights. This method can help kids think more deeply about themselves and develop a more thoughtful attitude. According to Maurois, a French author, to think that two people have the same thoughts, the same judgments, and the same desires is the most absurd thought, and it's also undesirable. This shows that arguments between parents and kids aren't always just about what's right or wrong. The generation gap is caused by the fact that each generation has different life experiences and responsibilities that shape how they see the world. These differences can make it hard for people of both generations to understand and get along. Because they haven't lived through many things yet, young people may seem immature at times, and they may not listen to their parents' advice. On the other hand, as people get older, they may become more set in their ways and more likely to nag. When this happens, it's very important to encourage tolerance and understanding between people. Parents should maintain a healthy emotional distance, show restraint, and be open to their children's points of view. It is good to change with your child's needs as they get older, as suggested in Awakening of Parents. As we get older and our kids get older, it's important to understand and relate to the problems they face. It would be better to enjoy our later years, take care of our physical and emotional health, and plan for a comfortable and fulfilling retirement rather than getting involved in small arguments. In the end, this approach may be the best and most rewarding way to handle the complicated dynamics of parent-child relationships. Third, it's important not to let your anger control how you act. Instead, work on keeping your emotions in check and finding ways to deal with things in a calm and funny way. The powerful story of Wang Jing'e, a well-known figure from the well-known Transformations program, shows how this approach can work. The wealthy family of Jin's Wang Jing'e gave their child a lot of freedom and a sense of entitlement as they grew up. He started skipping classes, getting into trouble, and acting disrespectfully all the time. He had a hard time getting used to the rural exchange program at first. On the first day, the staff took his luggage, which made him very angry and even led to a physical altercation. When he got to his host grandfather's house in the country, Wang Jing'e continued to be cocky. He was rude to the village grandmother who cooked for him, saying, "I, Wang Jing'e, would rather starve than eat anything from you." Even though he was being rude, the grandparents in the country chose not to get angry. Instead, they were patient with him and kept giving him warm meals. The grandfather's grandmother was so kind that she drove 3 hours through the mountains to care for him and tell him to enjoy the experience. Over the course of more than a month, Wang Jing'e grew to value the genuine care his rural hosts showed him. This quiet but deep compassion made him think about how he was acting in the end. He became more understanding and tried to make peace with his parents, who weren't paying attention before. Because he had changed his mind, he kept in touch with the family in the country, built them a new toilet, and sent them gifts on holidays. This story shows how important it is to keep your emotions in check so that you can respond with kindness when someone treats you badly. It's important to know how to handle your feelings when kids ignore or disrespect you. Anger can make problems worse and hurt relationships. When dealing with disrespectful behavior, showing warmth, patience, and care works better. The person who can control their emotions is greater than the general who can take down a city, Napoleon once said. But parents who can control their emotions are better able to handle arguments and tough situations with their kids. Self-control is the first thing that will help you earn respect and improve your family life. Don't let your feelings control how you act. Life is full of noise and arguments that make it hard to see the truth. Sometimes, the best thing to do is to choose silence and peace. This is echoed in the book Before You Leave, which talks about how the relationship between parents and children changes as they gradually live apart. The book also talks about how to cherish and grow a peaceful family life, avoid pointless arguments, and focus on building mutual respect and understanding. Parents who are intelligent should remember not to get angry or argue with their kids when they don't respect them or are emotionally distant. They should instead try to keep their emotions in check and respond with kindness and understanding. The emotional environment that parents create has a big effect on how their children grow up and on the family's overall health. May we all learn to be more patient and empathetic in the years to come, avoiding blame and complaining as much as possible and working together to make our homes warm and happy. What have you learned today about how to deal with your kids' disrespect and distance? We hope that the ideas and strategies we've given you will help you deal with these problems in a smart and patient way. These rules can make a big difference in your relationships, whether it's helping you stay calm, respecting your family's space, or understanding each other better. Thank you so much for joining us today. If this message resonated with you, please consider subscribing and clicking the bell to maintain our connection. Every view, every kind word helps keep this journey going. And if you believe in the power of energy and connection, type your age in the comments below. It's said that each number shared adds to the collective strength, and the universe sends back a little extra light and life in return. Now imagine this. By sharing this video with just 5 others, you're helping create a wave of healing energy. Some believe that the simple act of sharing can attract longer life, deeper peace, and universal blessings for everyone involved. Keep shining. You are a gift to this world.